Welcome to today's session, Reach New Customers with Online Advertising, part of our Grow with Google series. My name is Charles, and I'm from Dublin, Ireland, which is a much colder and wetter part of the world than sunny Sydney, where I'm currently based with Google. In Google, I work as an agency lead, which involves me partnering with digital agencies and SMBs across Australia to help them get the most out of their online advertising. Grow with Google helps people grow their skills, careers, and businesses by offering free tools, training, and events. There's a lot of great information and resources available at g.co/Grow Australia. We've got a lot of great content to share with you today, but first, we wanted to acknowledge that we realize that for many of you, these days are not business as usual. As all of us continue to adapt to COVID-19 across the globe, we understand that today's landscape is creating new challenges for you, your business, and your customers, wherever you may be. While the challenges of each business and individual at this time are unique, undoubtedly, everyone is being impacted in some way. And so thank you for making the time to be here with us today. For those of you watching live, feel free to ask questions throughout the presentation by typing them in the chat box below, and one of our team will attempt to respond. I really hope you enjoy the training today, where I'll introduce many of Google's advertising products that can help you reach new customers online, and that you leave with a number of learnings and key takeaways to support your business growth. Before we start, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of these lands on which we meet, and recognize their continuing connection to land, waters, and community. I pay my respects to them and their cultures, and to elders past, present, and emerging. During today's session, I'm going to share with you why more Australian SMBs are going digital and how they are using tools and technologies to connect with customers in the moments that matter. We will then take a closer look at Google Ads and introduce the different types of advertising campaigns you can run with Google in order to reach your audience and achieve your business goals. Finally, we will take a look at how you can get started on creating your own campaigns with smart technology. Don't be shy, and please ask questions as we go in the comments below, and our team of moderators will get back to you. So let's get started. The rate of change driven by digital is exponential. Let's look at customer journeys, for example. Customer journeys have changed dramatically in the past 5 years, as 80% of Australians now shop online. As a result of these changes, Aussie SMBs who are making use of the available digital tools and technologies are tapping into this opportunity and growing their businesses. There has never been a better time for a small business to be online. SMB owners who embrace digital tools are finding more efficient ways to showcase their products and services, expand their markets, and measure the results. Digital ads give brands hundreds, even thousands of opportunities to connect with people throughout the day. And they also unlock a one-to-one conversation with potential customers. The great thing about digital is that it's very easy for SMB owners to get started using digital advertising through self-serve tools and platforms like Google Ads. It only takes a smartphone and an internet connection for businesses, even those in regional and remote locations, to create ads to showcase their products and services. With new analytics and measurement tools, SMBs can also see which advertising campaigns are working, if they're hitting the right audiences, and they can make tweaks on the fly to improve how their advertising campaigns perform to support achieving their business goals. We cover these analytics tools in more depth in our Make Better Business Decisions with Analytics session in this Grow with Google series. So if you haven't tuned into that session, you can watch it on demand at g.co/GrowOnAir.au. So these are some of the reasons why Aussie businesses are going online, but let's take a look at some of the stats that back this up. Looking at data from the Deloitte Connected Small Business Report, we can see that SMBs in Australia with high digital engagement were 1.5 times more likely to be growing revenue. 7 times more likely to be exporting, and 8 times more likely to be hiring. But surprisingly, a staggering 90% of small businesses here in Australia aren't taking the necessary steps needed to realize this potential. So ask yourself, are you embracing digital? And if not, what is holding you back? So let's turn our attention now to connecting with customers in the moments that matter. Think about the last thing you searched for online. What was the experience like for you as a consumer? Did you find what you wanted quickly? I recently took up golf, so I remember searching for golf clubs and where I could buy them. And after my first round of golf, I remember rushing home and searching for golf lessons because golf is a much harder sport than I realized. But what wasn't hard was finding the information I needed to buy my golf clubs or to get the lessons I needed. In this next section, I'm going to take you through an introduction to our product, Google Ads, talk you through the nitty-gritty of it, including the immense opportunities it can provide your business to connect with your consumers, hopefully demystify any complexity around it, and take you through some facts about consumers' online patterns that show the shifts in trends of people's search behaviors. So let's dive in. But first, I want to start with a short video. As it plays, you'll see examples of digital experiences people have every day, all around the world. As you'll see from this video, we no longer go online, we live online. Every day, we turn to whatever device is on hand to act on our needs, and Google Search is an integral part of that journey.
People ask us all the time, how do I get into working?
That's an amazing video. So let's talk about the power of Google Search. By the time you read this slide, the world will have asked Google 500,000 questions. Those searches travel on average of 1,500 miles to the nearest data center and back to return the answer to the user, using over 1,000 computers in 0.2 seconds to retrieve an answer. This is an important stat because if you think about this volume of queries for a second, then think about this over 1 minute, then over an hour, you begin to understand the scale of customer queries and intentions just waiting for you and your business to tap into. Now, this can sometimes be easier said than done, but soon we will touch on Google Ads, which can help you connect with users in the moments that matter. And one final interesting point here, to me at least, is that of all the searches we see on Google every day, 16% are brand new search terms. Google Search is great for telling you what is top of mind for your customers based on their searches. So take a moment to think about what consumers are searching for when they think of your business. Are you familiar with what these people are seeing when they search? What is the experience they are having? The power of search also comes from the fact that it leverages customer intent in the moments that matter. And this provides a huge opportunity to businesses to connect with their consumers in these moments. Now take another moment to think about your potential customers and what questions they will ask when looking for information that relates to your business. Rather than focusing on what you want people to know about your products and services, think about the questions they ask you when they are in your store or they call your business. By doing that, you can understand these micro moments and use them as opportunities to build relationships with people who find your business online. So as I previously mentioned, people no longer go online, they live online. So we're not just saying that because it sounds like a compelling soundbite, it's what the data tells us. And one study published recently estimates that the average person spends 6 hours and 42 minutes online every single day. That's a lot of time. And a lot of time for your business to engage with them. But with all that time online, it means consumers' journeys and their path to purchasing a product or service have become increasingly complex. For businesses, this is an opportunity, but also a challenge. Today's consumers are deeply connected to the web, but it's not a simple linear connection. There are many reasons people go online, many ways to access information online, and many devices they do it on. All this results in a complex consumer journey. So if we take a look on screen, we can see an example of one of these journeys. So the first part of the journey is you notice your fridge is broken and your food isn't cold. Next up, you take to Google to search tutorials about how to fix a broken fridge. You search for the materials you'll need, such as a socket, ratchet, or wire cutters, and you watch a video about how to fix a clogged coil. After all that, you realize you need an expert to do the job, so you hire a repairman. The bottom line is that today's online consumers consult multiple sources to find the information they need, which means they are more informed than ever. So now that we have a better understanding of the informed, connected consumer, their complex journeys online, and the power of search, we will look at the types of advertising campaigns you can run through Google Ads that can help you reach these customers. So firstly, what is Google Ads? Google Ads is an online advertising solution that businesses use to promote their products and services on Google Search, YouTube, and other sites across the web. Before diving into the different types of advertising campaigns you can run through Google Ads, let's take a look at where ads can appear. Ads can appear on both the Google Search Network and the Google Display Network, both of which we will go through in more detail shortly. The Google Search Network is a group of search-related websites and apps. Your ads can appear when people search for products or services you promote. The networks where your ads can appear include Google Search, Google Maps, and Google Play. These are most likely the ads that you are most familiar with, and as you can see here, they will show up underneath the search bar typically. The Google Display Network is a large group of websites and apps that show Google Ads. Your ads can appear when consumers are looking at content, browsing websites, watching YouTube videos, checking email in their Gmail accounts, or using mobile apps. As you can see on the screen, there's an example of a display ad for Honest Soul Yoga, which pops up whilst a person is browsing through a website. So over the next few minutes, we'll take a closer look into each type of advertising campaign we offer to explain them all a little more clearly. Let's start with a quick outline of each campaign type, starting with search ads. Search ads are ads that appear when you type a search query into Google Search. For example, buy flowers online. Next up, we have shopping ads. Shopping ads are ads that appear with text and images at the top of the search results page when you search for a product like Nike running shoes. Display ads are banner ads that may pop up next to a news article you're reading online, as we've just briefly touched upon in the previous slide. Video ads are ads you see at the start, middle, or end of a video you're watching a video on YouTube about. For example, how to make a homemade pizza. So let's look at Google search campaigns in a bit more detail. When someone searches on Google, the ads that appear on the Google search results page are search ads. These ads often appear at the top of the page, which is prime real estate for engaging with consumers in that search moment. These ads are dictated by a little indicator saying ad to let you know that the brand is paying to be there. So in this example, a Google search for fridge repairs near me could deliver an ad for a fridge repair service business, which would show at the top of the page and have an ad icon beside it. The ads are only shown for relevant searches because you decide exactly what words you want your business to appear for, which is called keyword targeting. This is quite fundamentally different from other traditional forms of advertising where you pay regardless of whether someone sees your ad or takes action against your ad. In other words, if I'm selling running shoes, I won't be able to show my business ads for fridge repair search queries. And the amazing thing about search ads, unlike newspapers, flyers, radio, and other forms of non-digital advertising, is that with our pay-per-click search ads, you'll only pay when people click your ad to visit your website or to call your business. So you really can get so much more value for the money you spend on your advertising. This is quite fundamentally different from other traditional forms of advertising where you pay regardless of whether someone sees your ad or takes action on your ad. So here's an example of what search ads look like. If you look at the two ads here, they are both promoting the same thing. But if you look closely, there are some differences between the two. The difference being those little blue links down the bottom, which is what we call ad extensions. Extensions provide ads with additional information and not only increase your real estate on Google search, but also increase the likelihood that a user clicks on your ad. These are optional extras at no additional cost. Everyone using search ads can avail of them. The next ad format we're going to look at is Google Shopping ads, which, like search, can be ran through our Google Ads platform. Shopping ads are more than just a text ad. They show users a photo of your product, plus a title, price, store name, and more. You can see an example of how refrigerators might appear using Google Shopping ads on screen. Shopping ads allow you to sell products to the shopper without them having to even enter your website. Think of these ads as the window front to your online store. Like the previous ad format, Google search ads, amazingly, you'll only pay when people click through to your website or view your local inventory. The third ad format we're going to look at are Google Display campaigns, which, like the previous ad formats, Google Search and Google Shopping, can also be ran through our Google Ads platform. The Google Display Network is a vast network of over 2 million websites on which your ads can appear. These networks include YouTube, Gmail, mobile apps, and it reaches 90% of internet users worldwide. If you're not sure what I'm talking about here, think about image ads that appear on the side of news articles you read on your favorite news website. So how are Google Display campaigns different to Google search advertising? With search campaigns, you can show ads when people search on the Google homepage for specific goods or services. But what about people who aren't searching? What if people don't know about your product or service yet? The Google Display Network helps you build awareness of your business and offerings when users aren't actively looking for you. You can put your ads in front of people before they start searching, like when they are browsing their favorite blogs or websites, and even target them if they've already visited your website or your app. The final ad format we're going to cover is Google Video Campaigns, which are ads that you can run on YouTube. Did you know that YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, second only to Google Search? People come to YouTube to watch the content they love, and there are 16.5 million monthly users of YouTube in Australia. And these users come to watch sports highlights, cooking tutorials, fashion bloggers, you name it, and YouTube has it. Now, I know that 16 million monthly users is hard to believe, but that many Australians are watching YouTube each month, which provides so much opportunity to engage and promote your business to them. In fact, more than 90% of people say that they've discovered new brands or products on YouTube. And the best part, again, you'll only pay when someone chooses to watch at least 30 seconds or clicks on your ad. Unlike newspapers, flyers, radio, and other forms of non-digital advertising, where you pay regardless of whether someone notices or reads your ad. For more information about how to get started with video campaigns, just go to youtube.com/ads. Having great formats is important, but what sets Google apart is the audiences you can reach using our solutions. Google has 9 properties with over 1 billion active daily users. These include YouTube, Google Maps, Google Search, Android, Chrome, the Google Play Store, Gmail, Google Drive, and Google Photos. And the fantastic thing about all of these products is that as Google, we see our audience as one across all of our platforms, which means we can collect billions of anonymized consumer signals and behaviors across all our platforms. And by analyzing all these signals, which again are completely anonymous, we can better understand a customer's intent and interests, and thus can serve them the right ads at the right time in the moments that matter, which of course drives better quality leads for your business. To recap what we have covered so far, we've talked about our Google Ads platform and the different types of advertising campaigns that you can run that enable you to reach your customers across every stage of their customer journey. We have also seen how we can look at customer signals across all of our products to serve the most relevant ads to the right people in the moments that matter. So all in all, it's pretty clear to see now how SMB owners who embrace digital tools like Google Ads are finding more efficient ways to showcase their products and services, engage customers, measure their results, and ultimately grow their business. However, there are also many other additional benefits to advertising with Google. You can see how your ads are performing in real time and make sure they are working to achieve your goals. You can control the budget that you've allocated to different ad campaigns and adjust that budget amount according to how well each ad is performing. You can edit, pause, or cancel your ads at any time with immediate effect. This is fundamentally different to traditional forms of advertising where you pay a set cost and have little to no control over your budget and don't have an option to cut the campaign off if it's not working for you. With Google Ads, if you can see something is not working or vice versa, if something is doing incredibly well, you can adjust your budget in real time. You also only pay when a person clicks on your ad. If they're not clicking, you're not paying. If a potential customer is only viewing your ad, it's essentially free advertising. You can spend less time running campaigns by opting into automation options and having Google Ads make optimizations for you to improve how your ads are doing. So you can use this time instead to focus on running and growing your business. So all in all, it's pretty clear to see now how SMB owners who embrace digital tools like Google Ads are finding more efficient ways to showcase their products and services, engage customers, and measure the results that ultimately will grow their business. To close out this section, I wanted to share this wonderful case study which brings to life how a business uses Google Ads to sell to their customer base across the world. In 2012, from her kitchen in Christchurch, New Zealand, Brianne found a solution to reduce plastic usage in the cosmetic industry and founded Ethique. Today, she uses Google Ads to sell worldwide and prevented 1 million plastic bottles from ending up in the environment. I hope you enjoyed the video.
I've always had a passion for the environment. I started caring about saving the environment when I realised how fast we were destroying it. I'm Brianne West, the founder of Ethique, and I want to rid the world of plastic bottles. I started in my kitchen, 2012. I formulated solid bars of concentrated product like shampoo, conditioner, or body lotion even. I started selling on a community forum, and it blew up. People understood the concept of waterless cosmetics. I had this overarching goal that we would save 1 million bottles from landfill, which seemed like this enormous, insurmountable goal. We wanted to grow internationally, so we started experimenting with Google Ads. Almost immediately, it led to our first international order, which was so exciting. I want to put a bar in every shower. I want to change consumers' behaviour, so instead of thinking, I need to buy a bottle of shampoo, they think, where is my shampoo bar? We just hit 1 million bottles saved, which is about 25 tonne of plastic. But it kind of pales in comparison to the extra 6 million we're going to save next year.
What an amazing story. For this next section, we'll help you understand what type of campaign in Google Ads is the best one for you based off your business goals. So let's get started. When you create a campaign in Google Ads, you'll be asked to choose the objectives of the campaign based on the goals you can see on screen. The goal of your campaign may be to drive sales or leads, or alternatively, you may be trying to build brand awareness or promote your app. We have a campaign type to suit any objective. So what makes a good goal? Let's stick with the example from earlier where we discussed refrigerators. Imagine if you ran an appliance store and your goal is to sell more refrigerators. One framework we could use for setting goals is the SMART framework. So let's start with the letter S. So S, is the goal specific? For example, are you happy to sell any model, or are there particular models that you are trying to sell as they are higher margin? M, can you measure the goal? In our example, the answer is yes, as you can measure the number of refrigerators that you do sell. A, is this goal attainable? Have you set yourself a realistic sales goal? Or, is the goal relevant to your business? Are refrigerators a key product for your business? And T, is it time sensitive? When do you want to achieve this goal by? Is it by the end of the month? Is it by the end of 2020, 2021? So let's say driving sales is our goal and our target is to sell 25 refrigerators online by the end of the month. You can use all of the Google campaign types if you're trying to drive sales. So this means search, display, shopping, and video ads could all be used here. In addition to selecting a campaign type, be sure to set up features to help track and measure success by setting up conversion tracking. Let's switch to lead generation now, as I'm sure many business owners who are watching will use marketing as a way of generating leads for their business. If you're looking to drive leads, you can also use all 4 campaign types, and you will still use conversion tracking, but instead of measuring sales, this time you will measure phone calls or contact form submissions, however you collect your leads. If your business is focused on driving website traffic, you can again use a combination of search, display, shopping, and video campaigns to reach this goal. Conversion tracking won't be as important here, as your main goal is to drive people to your website. So Google Analytics will be able to help to show you how effective this has been, but you may want to track traffic to specific pages that are important for your business. And then let's wrap this section with the last 2 goals, which include building brand awareness and product and brand consideration. Display and video campaigns are recommended for both goals here, as they enable you to reach a wide audience and you're not restricted to people who are on Google search or searching for your product. You can proactively reach people who may be in the market for a new refrigerator and use video or imagery to get your brand or product in these customers' consideration set. There's one final campaign type in Google Ads that I haven't mentioned, and that is smart campaigns. These campaigns are designed for ease of use and a low level of ongoing maintenance, which is very important for SMBs who are time poor. Smart campaigns are Google's advertising solution for small businesses. They are automated versions of Google search, display, and shopping campaigns that we have shared earlier in this session. A really big advantage of smart campaigns is that because most of the work is automated and powered by the best of Google's machine learning technology, it frees up time to focus on other areas of their business. For example, you do not need to create a keyword list. This is done automatically based on the content on your website, the business category you select when you set up the campaign, as well as the goals that you are trying to achieve. Getting started is simple. You set up a budget, enter a few keyword themes, and based on the type of business you have, Google shows your ads to people looking for the products and services you offer across all Google properties, including search, YouTube, and the display network, to name a few. It is hard to believe, but these campaigns can be set up in just 15 minutes. Depending on the goals you set, the Google Ads system will automatically determine where to show your ads to give you the best chance of success. And there are many benefits to smart campaigns. Firstly, it is extremely easy to create an ad and set it live. Once live, there is very little work required to manage the campaign. Just sit back and let Google do the heavy lifting for you. As with the other formats we've discussed, you will only pay when people click on your ad. And finally, there is an easy-to-use dashboard in the Google Ads platform that lets you see how well your ads are doing and which allows you to make any adjustment if you wish to. This means you're still in control and you can turn on or off with the click of a button. To further understand the benefits of automated advertising, we asked Ipsos, a leading market research firm, to undertake 2 quantitative studies to examine the Australian SMB market and the role smart advertising technologies are playing in their operations, with a focus on the impact and opportunities of these new solutions. The results in the research report, Smart Advertising, Smart Business, showed that SMBs who are already using automated ads were more likely to be expanding to new markets, both locally and globally, as well as opening new locations than those not using the technology. It really is so exciting to see the potential growth opportunities that smart advertising can provide SMBs in Australia now and in the future. So I've spoken about how easy it is to set up a smart campaign, so let's run through it now. There are only 5 steps required. Step 1, select a campaign goal. Step 2, decide a target location. Step 3, describe your product or service. Step 4, write your ad. And step 5, set a budget and you're good to go. Super simple, and now your ads are up and running. Once this is done, there are a few things you can do to tweak and optimize performance. Firstly, you can schedule your ads. By default, ads are scheduled to run all the time, but you have the option to choose days of the week and times of day when your ad is eligible to appear. This would be especially useful if your ad's goal is to drive phone calls, but you don't answer calls after hours. You can control what keywords and search terms trigger your ads. Earlier I mentioned that your ads are automatically shown on relevant search phrases. You can't manually add search phrases, but you can deactivate a phrase that's not a good fit for your business. So if you see a certain search phrase is triggering a lot of ads, but is not relevant to your business, you're able to stop your ad from showing for this search term. We call this a negative keyword. In the example on screen, we have deactivated the search term yoga blankets, as this is not something this business offers. And lastly, if you want to receive phone calls, make sure you turn on verified calls to receive reporting on the time, duration, and geographic location of the calls. You can then use these insights into making more informed business decisions. We've covered a lot of ground today, so I want to do a quick recap before moving on to some final resources. You can get started on all we have discussed today by visiting ads.google.com. Here you will have the opportunity to advertise across search, display, shopping, and video networks. If you want to focus less time on your marketing, but you want to drive instant impact, you can also opt for a more automated smart campaign as a super easy alternative to getting started. Let our technology in Google Ads do all the work for you based on your business goals and inputs that we've taken you through in the past section. Now, before we wrap up, I do want to share a few additional resources to help your business make the most of Google. Starting with Google My Business. Google My Business offers a free business profile on Google that can show your critical business information to searchers across Google Search and Maps across all devices. Google My Business doesn't replace a business website, but it can help your profile stand out in the search results and on Maps, and send potential customers to your website. Creating a business profile helps you control the details Google displays, like business hours, contact information, store locations, photos and videos, and more, so that they're up to date and consistent across search and Maps. We have a whole separate session focused on business profiles. If you didn't tune into that session yesterday, you can watch it on demand at g.co/GrowOnAirAU. While we don't have time today to dive into SEO, there's plenty of content on Google Digital Garage which you can run through in your own time. For now though, here are a few specific non-technical tips that can help how you appear in organic search results when people are searching for products or services. The first tip is to regularly publish relevant, original content on your website. This information should be useful, informative, clear, and accurate. It is really important to include keywords on your website that users would type into Google search to find your pages, much like how you would using Google Ads. Always lead with your most important information. If your goal is to get people to call your business, keep your phone number prominent on your web page. And while there's no rule on how often, the more frequently you update your website, the more likely it will be to appear in the search engine results. As you publish content to your site, keep it well organized. When your website content is organized into a logical, clearly labeled areas, it helps human visitors more easily find what they're looking for, and it helps Google's algorithm better understand the content on your website. Images can have an important influence on the appearance and success of your website, so here are some basic tips for selecting images. Images should be clear and in focus, and they should look right in the overall website design. It's almost always better to use real photos rather than stock photos. And before you add an image to your site, make sure you're allowed to do so from a copyright perspective. Make sure you add image descriptions, also known as alt text or alt tags, to every image on your website. This helps Google understand what the image is. Think of this like writing on the back of a printed photo so you can identify the people in it at a later date. And make sure the image size is optimized for the web by looking at the file size and dimensions of the image to ensure the file is not too big or the image is not blurry. Image size is important because you also want to optimize for how quickly your website loads when someone visits your page. The probability of someone leaving your website immediately increases 32% as page load time goes from 1 second to 3 seconds. It's even tougher on mobile. 53% of website visits are abandoned if a mobile site takes longer than 3 seconds to load. To wrap up our tips, let's look at another tool that can help you find ideas for creating new content for your website: Google Trends. Google Trends is a free, web-based tool that shows the relative popularity of different search terms on Google. The data is presented in a graph on a scale of 0 to 100, with 100 representing the peak amount of searches. If it has enough data, Trends can show a forecast of search volume, related popular searches, and rising searches, which are searches experiencing significant growth. You can use it to find and compare the popularity of different words and phrases, determine seasonality of different searches, and see where searches are happening geographically. All this information can help you see what topics people are interested in and create relevant content to publish on your site. You can try Google Trends by visiting g.co/trends. We've covered so many great things today, and I want to encourage you to go back in your own time and take a look at some of these great resources. I'm going to pause now for a minute on this screen. Please feel free to screenshot this slide or take your phones out and take a picture. We'll also be sharing these links in a survey that will be sent to you after this session. Today's session was brought to you by Grow with Google, an initiative to help people prepare for work, find jobs, and grow their business. Today we have covered Google Ads, but Grow with Google offers so much more. Job seekers can grow their skills in order to find new jobs and advance their careers. Teachers can learn how to put the latest technology to work inside and outside of the classroom. Small business owners can build their online presence and find new customers. Startups can learn how to get their ideas the exposure they need to succeed. And developers can sharpen their current skills and master new ones. To learn more, visit g.co/Grow Australia. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you found the session valuable and learned how you can reach new customers with online advertising. If you are watching live, you will shortly receive an email with a link to a feedback survey. Please take some time to complete it if you can. We would love to hear what you thought about today's training. Thank you and have a great day.